The Syrian government's alleged chemical weapons attack on its own people is creating new tension between Western powers and Syria's ally, Russia. President Trump tweeted this week that the U.S.-Russia relationship is, quote, worse now than it has ever been, and that includes the Cold War. CBS News correspondent and co-host of Showtime's The Circus, Alex Wagner, traveled to Moscow to see how the younger generation of Russians views the tensions. They told her what they thought about the so-called new Cold War and shared their opinions on of Americans.
When I say America, what is the first word that pops into your mind?
Trump.
Trump, okay.
Aerosmith?
Aerosmith.
Yeah, why not? Probably McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Yeah, but I think about McDonald's all the time, so.
Okay.
Stars and Stripes. American pop culture and everything, and probably like comic books.
Liberty.
Those are pretty positive, happy images of America. And yet, in the news today, we read that America and Russia are in a new Cold War.
I totally disagree with that. I don't think that that's the right thing to isolate ourselves from the outer world, especially from America, because America is one of the leading countries in the world.
My point of view is like that those are just wonderful topics for journalists. That's it.
The political decisions that are made right now, they are destructive for all spheres of our life. I think both countries are led by very aggressively oriented people, I'd say.
Do you think one side is more to blame than the other?
Both sides are to be blamed.
Yeah.
So.
I respect Trump, he does his job. I respect Putin, he does his job. But I do my job and do not think I'm not an expert in politics.
What is most intriguing to you about the United States right now?
A lot of media says that we have like this huge propaganda in Russia. Maybe it's true, but I think the surprising thing for me is that American people are more vulnerable to any kind of even small propaganda. For example, if I look at your camera and say, I live in Russia and I just love Putin because he's the greatest communist of all time. Your audience is gonna go like, oh my God, communist, so terrible. Poor Russia, but I know for sure they don't know that Russia is not a communist country at all.
Do you believe that when you hear in the American press that the Russians had something to do with the election?
That sounds really funny to me, because how? I don't think that Russia would have done that.
I don't think that it's the job of the media nowadays to say the truth. It's mostly emotional. I mean, if we have
I think the media is sensational. It wants to create stir up emotions.
Exactly, and then to react to the media from other media, from all the world.
So do you feel that's true for Russian media as well?
Yes.
For all media?
Yes, exactly.
Do you think Putin has been in power too long?
Yes, because sometimes I'm feeling that he's becoming a bit inadequate.
Inadequate.
Yeah, and probably he stops understanding what he wants, what he's doing. And this is frightening for such a level of authority.
I disagree with him on many points, yes, but mostly satisfied with the current political system, yes.
How are you different than the older generation?
People who were born in the Soviet Union, they didn't have a chance to travel around the world. We had this chance because the borders are open and the Western pop culture coming to us.
As Russians, do you feel isolated?
We still got YouTube. Well, for serious, we still got YouTube. We watch CBS, we watch Marvel, we watch HBO. Our favorite series is like Game of Thrones, right? No, you cannot isolate us, because we got money and we can grab a ticket and visit you if we want. But we are okay here, right? For serious.
Alex Wagner is with us at the table. So interesting to hear their perspectives, and certainly on Trump. Did they feel as free and open to talk about their own leader, President Putin?
You know, there's a real sense of defiance that I got from not just the Russian millennials I spoke with, but Russians on the street that I spoke with. They, Russian state propaganda has pushed its citizens to believe that sanctions are having no effect, that Russia is as strong as it ever has been. And I feel like some of that has trickled down. I mean, these kids feel like almost resistant to the idea that they are somehow marginalized in all of this.
Russian nationalism is a huge part of Putin's rise, what he wants to deliver them. It's not communism. It's not ideology of collectivism as much as it was in the past. Do you see that nationalism, that they rally to that, and that's the connection between Putin and the next generation? Absolutely.
I mean, the ones that respect Putin respect strength more than anything else, right? You heard shades of concern about the authoritarianism, but they really respond to the projection of strength. And in that way, they respond to Trump as well. But they also think, whatever you do in America, we can copy or do better. One student said, you know, you have your iPhones and your blockchains and you have your innovations, and we enjoy them, and then we'll make them better. That is a disciple of Putin speaking.
Yeah, right. Alex, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you can see Alex and more of her reporting when the Circus returns for season 3. It airs Sunday night on Showtime, a division of CBS.